So today I am tackling one of the most dangerous questions ever for Muslims. So I originally decided to make this video because so many people have been in my comments and my DMs debating and fighting about the preservation of the Quran. Guys, I know this is a long video, but if you stick around to watch it, you will not believe what ChatGPT says. Anyways, I'll let you guys watch the video. Hey everyone, so today we're looking into, has the Quran been preserved perfectly? Honestly, I need to get to the bottom of this because if the Quran isn't preserved, the entire foundation of Islam could be in danger. Let's dive in. Hey ChatGPT, I have a question. Has the Quran been preserved?
Hey Lily J. Yes, the Quran has been preserved in its original form through meticulous oral and written transmission for over 1,400 years.
But a lot of people online have told me different. I'm a bit confused. So the Quran was revealed exactly how it's written today?
No, the Quran was both memorized and written down during the Prophet's life, but it wasn't compiled into a complete book until after his death.
Really? That's interesting. How long after the Prophet's death was the Quran compiled?
It was first compiled around 2 years after the Prophet's death, under the leadership of Abu Bakr.
Why wasn't it compiled in the Prophet's times?
The Quran wasn't compiled into a single book during the Prophet's time because revelations continued throughout his life over a period of 23 years. They were memorized and written down on materials like parchment, bones, and palm leaves, but not in a complete book as we know today.
Really? Can we prove that the Quran we have today is the same as the original compiled Quran?
Yes, we can confidently confirm that the Quran we have today is the same as the original through ancient manuscripts and unbroken oral traditions.
But how can we confirm with physical evidence that the original compiled Quran is the same as what was revealed to Prophet Muhammad?
Early manuscripts like the Birmingham manuscript at the University of Birmingham and the Sana'a manuscript in Yemen have been radiocarbon dated with 95% accuracy to the time of the Prophet and are an exact match to the Quran we have today.
Wow, that's crazy. This is just what I found on Google. There's the original manuscripts from the Birmingham University and the Quran we have today. And as you can see, they're exactly the same. So let's move on. Okay, so these early manuscripts, how were they transcribed from Prophet Muhammad to the companions to make sure of the authenticity?
Prophet Muhammad recited it to his companions over a period of 23 years. Dozens of official scribes and hundreds of companions memorized it during the Prophet's lifetime.
So how do we know the Quran was actually finished before Prophet Muhammad's death?
During his farewell sermon, delivered and confirmed by a crowd of approximately 120,000 followers, he emphasized the completion of the faith, confirming with the verse from the Quran, "This day I have perfected for you your religion." Additionally, we know that the Quran was completed because Prophet Muhammad reviewed the entire Quran each Ramadan, and in his final year, he reviewed it twice, ensuring it was finalized and fully preserved by his companions.
That's really interesting. Just to confirm, are you saying that it is a fact that the Quran was well documented and memorized during the Prophet's time?
Yes, it's undeniable. Historical records, hadith collections, and the unbroken oral tradition confirm that the Quran was completely preserved during the Prophet's life.
Wow, that's crazy. So how did the Quran become one compiled book after his death then?
After the Prophet's death, the Quran was first compiled into a single official manuscript by the first caliph leader, Abu Bakr, to maintain its preservation. About 10 years later, during the Caliphate of Uthman, he standardized it by producing and distributing uniform copies with correct guided pronunciation. He ordered that any unofficial variations be removed and destroyed to ensure the Quran's authenticity and consistency.
Wait, hang on a minute. Did you just say unofficial variations?
Yes, I did.
Doesn't that just prove that there is more than one Quran?
No, these copies refer to slight differences in recitation and pronunciation due to dialectal and regional differences. These variations don't change the meaning or message of the Quran. They are simply regional differences in pronunciation, much like accents in spoken language.
Okay, guys, so I was still confused at this point, and there is so many of you in my comments and DMs talking about this topic, about different variations of the Quran. So I needed to get to the bottom of this and fully understand it. This is what I just found. So I can't speak Arabic, guys, just know that. If there's anyone speaking Arabic on this, if you can drop a comment just to confirm what I'm saying, that would be awesome. I found online, this is like amazing. Guys, this is the actual manuscript. It's part of the Mingana from the Birmingham collection, which dates back exactly to the Prophet's time. So that's the original manuscript, and this is the Quran we have today. So you guys can pause the video to see it. So as you can see, these dots and dashes that are on the left, the Quran we have today, they're not present on the original manuscripts because native speakers in those times didn't need these dots to understand how to pronounce the words, because it's their natural tongue. As Islam started to spread around the world and go international, where people didn't speak Arabic, they needed to add these dots and dashes as instructions on how to say the words correctly. If you look at the Quran we have today, and if you actually remove the dots and dashes, you can see that it is the exact same word. Triangle, and then a line, and then it's like a U thing, and then another line, triangle, two U's, the one, like it is literally word for word the same. I don't know how much more clear you can make this. This is an original manuscript from the time of the Prophet compared to the Quran we have today. I'm no professional, but from my opinion, it literally looks exactly the same. Another thing that I found really interesting about this script from the Birmingham University was also that it's in the correct order that it is today. If you look at these little dots, do you see the dots like that separate the verses? So these verses in the Birmingham scripts are exactly identical to the way that Muslims recite the Quran today. So this is, I feel, just further pointing out that these original manuscripts have not been changed. Okay, ChatGPT, so what would you say to someone that claims there are multiple versions of the Quran?
The Quran has been perfectly preserved, and any claims of multiple versions stem from misunderstandings of pronunciation variations, not changes in the text. For over 1,400 years, Muslims have recited the Quran daily and completed it every Ramadan, making it impossible for the text to have changed without detection.
Wow, that is so true. When you actually think about it for a second, I'm a singer, okay? So imagine the most popular song in the world right now. If you went to sing it the wrong way, everyone would notice. There's no way you could sing the wrong lyrics and get away with it. The same's with the Quran. There is millions, if not billions of people over the years that have memorized the Quran. How is it possible that a change could go unnoticed? Is there any other reasons or proof that shows that the Quran cannot have been changed?
Sure. Immediate documentation. The Quran was revealed distinct from other scriptures like the Bible, which was written by followers long after Jesus' death and written in a language foreign to the original revelation. In contrast, the Quran was transcribed immediately by the Prophet's scribes as the revelations occurred, ensuring it was documented from the outset. Secondly, the Quran is beyond human capability. Hundreds of scientifically accurate details, centuries ahead of discovery, confirm it was not authored by humans and reveal its divine origin. From the universe's expansion to the precise stages of human embryonic development, these insights, unimaginable in the 7th century, are recorded with stunning precision. Changing these would compromise its remarkable scientific accuracy. Thirdly, mathematical patterns. The Quran is structured with precise mathematical patterns, such as the matching frequency of words like the word day, mentioned 365 times, and the words life and death and man and woman, all found equally in the Quran. Any alterations would disrupt these balances.
Wow, that's crazy.
It really is. The Quran itself promises its protection. In Quran 15:9, Allah says, "Indeed, we have set down the Quran, and indeed, we will be its guardian." This verse confirms that Allah has promised to protect the Quran from alteration. Also in chapter 2, verse 23, the Quran challenges its critics to produce even a single surah like it, and no one has ever met the challenge. Instead, throughout history, opponents of Islam chose to go to war, unable to match the Quran's linguistic, literary, and spiritual depth. Even today, with advanced AIs like ChatGPT, no technology or human effort can replicate its divine eloquence. The Quran's uniqueness, proven through centuries of unmatched perfection, affirms its authenticity and divine origin.
Wow. This is just too much, guys. Honestly, this is just crazy. It's just undisputable, undeniable, undefeatable. The Quran is preserved 100%. Not only, it is the most preserved book ever in the whole entire world. Is that right, ChatGPT?
Yes, that's right. Quran is considered.
Guys, if you ever see a comment again online claiming that the Quran's been changed, send them this video and tell them to shut up. What do you guys think?